I want you guys Three, two, one. You're listening to the We Talk Nerd podcast, a podcast about gaming, movies, and everything nerd. I'm your host, Brandon.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Rob.
We're not joined by Jared this week. He's a little bit busy, but we do have Rob back, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
I just want to thank everybody for listening. This is the first podcast of 2018, and I guess our second year. This will be our 21st podcast, and I'm glad everybody's just been hanging out. We're having fun doing this, and I just want to thank everybody for that. We'll hopefully have some changes coming soon for a better quality podcast, and just to make it a better experience for everybody. But with that being said, I'll hand it off to Rob and see what he's been playing this week.
Sure, thank you. And yeah, it's happy 2018 to both of you. So
hey,
nice to be starting this up with you guys.
Yeah.
I had a bit of time off over the holiday week, so was able to get in a little bit of gaming. Played some of the Horizon Zero Dawn expansion.
Good. Expansion. How was that?
Man, it is so good. It's so good. It's called the Frozen Wilds, and it's primarily north of the main area that you played at. So everything is frost covered and snow everywhere. So
I've seen the snow, like in the in-game snow. Oh my god, that's incredible.
Yeah, I have just the regular PlayStation. I'm sure the PlayStation Pro with like the 4K version is or so.
Yeah, like you step on the snow and it mats it down. You can see the grass like breaking through it, and it looks incredible.
Yeah, I was talking a little bit earlier saying it's game of the year for a lot of people, and for
it's a good game.
It's so much fun, and the only shame is that it's an exclusive. So people that are committed to other platforms are not going to get a chance to play it.
Rob's telling me that I should drop what I'm doing, just like Jared's dropping what he's doing, playing The Last of Us. I should play some Horizon.
Is it how long is the expansion?
Well, I think I'm about a third of the way through it, and I would say I've put about 4 hours in. So I would say it's probably like a 12 to 15 hours.
Not bad. I heard you can do it in conjunction with the rest of the game. Like if you start it over, it like flows into the normal game.
Yeah, but I finished the game quite some time back, so it was with the new expansion coming out, I was.
Did you ever finish it, Andrew?
I didn't start it.
You haven't ever started.
That's why he was telling me I should play it.
Oh wow! I thought that was one of the ones you have played. Oh, definitely.
I have it. I bought it. It's there.
It's one of the best games that came out last year. It's a great game.
Well, I think
I've talked about it before, but yeah, it's a great game.
Yeah, I'm accepting this role as the challenger. I challenge everyone to play games that I like, so I can talk about them with you guys.
There you go.
So whenever Jared's done, he probably took tonight off to play The Last of Us.
Conflict Desert Storm.
Or Conflict, so yeah, I won't take up too much more, but I just wanted to say that I also got in a little bit of board gaming. I got in some more Telltale games, this time Guardians of the Galaxy, so I'm making the tough decisions with Rocket.
How was that? Because I've heard it's not as good as some of the others.
If you like the movies, it's like playing the movies. And it is a little more, I would say a little sillier than some of the other ones. It definitely doesn't have the same dark tone that the Batman and Walking Dead have, but it's still a lot of fun. And I'm such a Guardians fan. I'm sure I'm skewed on it, but it was also one of those deals. It was $10 for the whole series, so I scooped it up. Another one I picked up was Dear Esther, and that one is a bit of an interesting game. It was actually originally a Half-Life 2 mod, and it's what's considered the first walking simulator.
Simulator.
Yeah, meaning you're just kind of going around looking at things. There's not really ways to
So it's
die.
just like a visual game.
Essentially, yeah. You're more like you're going through and experiencing and seeing and feeling things as opposed to button mashing or fighting your way through stuff. So it was
sort of like a self-paced movie of sorts.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and a lot of it's up to interpretation. You spend as little or as much time as you like in certain areas. So
we talked about this with the game of the year. Sorry, the story game of the year. What was it? It was Edith Finch. It was for 2017. Yeah. Something like that.
I loved that game, and it owes a lot to Dear Esther. In fact, you can see some of the same like notes as you go through Edith Finch is definitely drawn from that. But Edith Finch is an amazing game.
Yeah, I just watched it actually at a stream, and I enjoyed it.
I don't play a whole lot of games like that, so it's interesting to hear that kind of side of things.
Yeah, Dear Esther is less than 2 hours total, start to finish. So it's not a huge time commitment to do it. And if you play it on Xbox, you can get about 800 gamer score for running through it.
Does that still matter anymore? Does anyone still care?
I care.
It's internet
I don't
points.
play Xbox.
It's internet points. I mean,
internet points. It's like Reddit karma.
You got it.
Well, cool. Well, how about you, Andrew? What have you been up to?
I've been playing the Discord community game. Have you heard of it? It's very, very important. It's I've been doing a lot of community stuff, and that's a lot of motivation to get people organized and to get people to a place where they can have fun together. And I really enjoy that. I like seeing fire teams go out and people just playing Overwatch together in a Discord and having fun, talking about just random stuff as part of a gaming community. Like, remember, I figure back when you guys know that the Ventrilo / TeamSpeak days where you go into a Ventrilo, you go to a TeamSpeak and people are there, they're playing a game, and you just talk with them and just that sort of community. Now it's kind of changed. The game plans changed with Reddit and these sub communities, but Discord's a place to be. And I really like how this it's growing really rapidly.
It is.
And other than that, I think I just a little bit of Destiny 2. Still love it. Still going out with my fire team, and getting to max light level, whatever that may be. I think it's 335 now. And I think I have all the guns. I think I pretty much have everything I need. And my vault space is getting really full, and all my items are going to the mailbox and just staying there.
You should start a post on the Bungie forums about your vault space being not large enough.
I think they already heard the millions of users, other than the Eververse needs to die posts, that sort of thing. That's all I've been up to. And
you heard it here. Andrew wants the Eververse to die.
Don't quote me. No.
I think everybody does.
I can't wait to just play the rest of Mario Rabbids during my break, and then maybe get to some Horizon Zero Dawn, Rob. I'll get to it.
You should. Yeah, I haven't done much either. I actually got sick at the end of the last podcast, so I'm glad I can actually be on this one. But I played a little bit more Assassin's Creed. I'm trying to finish that. And some more little bit of PlayStation VR. I'll talk about that in a minute. But that's all I really done this week. So I guess we'll just jump into some news.
Nice.
But Microsoft has come out and said that they are discontinuing the Kinect. So it is officially dead. They will no longer make or support the Kinect for the Xbox. I think there is a little bit of a community around it for PC, but not for gaming. It's more, I think, for the video, the voice, and I think they might use it in maybe the medical field.
It's got to be a nice cam in it.
So
maybe, hopefully, I can... But it's not the same plug that you would think it is. I'm not sure what plug that is.
It's USB.
Oh, for the later ones, I think were USB, but for some of the older ones, there's an adapter that they came out with for
to go to
PC.
USB. Okay, mine's like the original gen.
Or it could be like actually a whole separate Kinect. I'm not sure.
I like to use it for a webcam. Let me see what they have. I'll check it out.
Yeah, but yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe they can use the the kind of the idea for it to further maybe their VR stuff, but. Yeah, don't expect any Kinect games anytime soon.
When was the last Kinect game?
I don't think there was a single one that came out for the one. So,
it had to have been because they packed it in.
I mean,
it's
they
probably
did.
A Just Dance 2017 or something, probably.
Maybe.
Ooh, that's generous.
Oh, that's true. That's gonna really put a damper on the Just Dance for the Xbox. How are you gonna Just Dance now?
You just dance. No webcam, just dance.
Just Dance.
No, it's
No points. Just Dance. Just Dance VR would be interesting. Maybe we'll see that for the PlayStation.
possibly.
Anyway, the Mass Effect 2 and 3 DLC have finally came in a bundle. Previously, the only way to get them were to buy them individually with BioWare points, which you had to buy with real money. So it was like a really weird conversion you had to make to get the DLC, and it was, I don't know if you ever looked into it, but it was like crazy expensive for all the DLC, like maybe $80. Because there's a lot of DLCs for those two games.
Are we talking Origin or are we talking console?
Both.
Huh.
Well, the console, I think, back in the day, was like Microsoft points and whatnot. So maybe not on console, but for at least on Origin.
They would sell each of the adventures for like $10 to $15 each, and they would not be, full blown expansions. Like the fact that I'm getting 15 hours out of Horizon Zero Dawn is crazy, because the Mass Effect 2 mission, I think, where you're a spy, is maybe 2 hours, 3 hours.
Right.
And you had to pay like $10, for that time. So it's pretty amazing that you're getting such little for your money nowadays.
Right.
I got a feeling it's going to flop a bit.
I mean, I don't know. I think they're doing it for convenience. Because, I mean, it's been around forever. And I personally don't have all the DLC on the PC, and I would like that. I think it's $25 for all the DLC for 2, and maybe $30 for all the DLC for 3. You don't have to buy the BioWare points or anything like that. So hopefully, maybe it'll go on sale, one of these like big sale events, and then I'll catch it then. Because I would love to replay through all of that. It's one of my favorite series. The DLC only adds good stuff to the game.
I think 2 is probably one of my favorite games ever made for the 360. 3 was really good too, but 2 was next level stuff.
2 was next level. It was incredible.
Then there's Andromeda.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a game.
Yeah,
it is a game. Yeah,
it's a game. Some cool news. Civ 6 is available on iPad. The full game. There's no anything cut out of it. It's exactly the experience you would have on PC, except on iPad.
That's amazing.
That's pretty amazing.
Pretty overdue, I'd say.
I feel like games like that will work well in the iPad market or tablet market.
Well, they had Civ Revolution a few years back.
But those were really, really watered down, the versions of Civ.
Definitely. Yeah, that's why I'm so surprised that they were actually able to get the full-blown... I mean, my computer used to chug on like Civ 5. I mean, there's a lot of calculations going on, so...
Well, I'm sure it doesn't play that well on maybe an older iPad, but if you have the latest and greatest on the iPads, I'm sure it runs great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Some more Civ 6 news. For the newest expansion, they're adding 8 new Civs with 9 new leaders, which means they'll have an overlap on leaders. And the ones we know so far is Cree, which is an indigenous Canadian Civ. Don't know a whole lot about that. The Dutch, the Korean, the Mongolians, and the Mongolian leader will be Genghis Khan, which I think we've had before. But I guess they're adding it into 6. And we're getting a new Indian leader, and I don't want to butcher his name because I have no idea how to pronounce it. But yeah, those be some new. That's a lot. I think it's a lot of Civs to be added for an expansion on a list of already a lot of Civs.
That's really impressive. I wonder where they go next with this, because 5 had like the space expansions, and they went off world to to find new gameplay. So
was that an expansion or was that a standalone? I think that was a standalone.
I think it was standalone, but it was
the standalone. The space one was all standalone.
Okay.
Yeah.
But Civ 5, I hear, was the best one out of all of them, and it's still, I thought it was still the best Civ that the community accepts. I've been hearing that more than I have about Civ 6. Is that true, or anything about that?
I think people like Civ 5 more because there's, I think, a couple expansions that came out for it, so there's a lot of stuff that's in that game. And Civ 6 just hasn't caught up to it yet.
and that's what it is. It's just the game, how much gameplay is actually there. When
Mhm.
5 came out, everyone said, "Oh, 4 is good enough."
Right.
There was actually a lot of salt about 5.
This was the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Just as soon as when they add more stuff, the newest one will be the best. But it's a vicious cycle. But I enjoy playing those games a lot.
Nice.
Yeah. It's all the news I really have. But I want to talk a little bit about Farpoint since we talked about the PlayStation VR. From what I've played it, I currently would rank it an 8 out of 10. And that's purely based on VR. Because if it wasn't a VR game, I would think it might be a 6. Because it's not a very deep game, but it is fun to play in VR because you can look around and see everything. You get to aim the gun, bring the sight up to your eye.
What's the context, the storyline, everything?
The context is pretty interesting, but you're in space. You get sucked into what I assume is a wormhole, thrown on a planet. I don't want to give too much away, but you're looking for some other people from your space station that was sucked into this black hole and teleported to this planet.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's always a fun type of gameplay because you can do anything you want with it. That was the basic premise of Prey, which I thought was a really fun game.
Yeah, and there's the aliens are, of course, bugs, and they're fun to shoot. And so it can be scary sometimes, and they jump out of nowhere, and because you have to turn your head to find something, so they could be up in the corner when you're not looking. So
I do have a question for you, though, Brandon.
Yeah.
I have to draw some connections between numbers. It jumps out at me.
Okay.
So Farpoint, if it's not a VR, would be a 6.
Yeah.
The Last Jedi was a 6. So if The Last Jedi was in VR, it would be an 8.
If I could experience The Last Jedi, I might make it an 8.
Okay.
Good to know.
There it is.
Maybe if I was The Last Jedi, maybe it would be an 8. I would do things a little bit different, but
Yeah, we really haven't seen any tie-in games coming out for that. Other than, I wouldn't consider Battlefront a tie-in.
I don't know the campaign, at least the DLC that came out recently for the Battlefront 2 campaign, tied in a little, very little.
It's not like Pod Racer.
No, it's not like Pod Racer.
Which was
we don't have
Which was canon.
The salt planet ship racer game.
That would be cool though.
I'd want it.
Would you play it?
I'd play another pod racing game for sure.
If there was a pod racing game on the Salt Planet, definitely.
Yeah, those pod racing games were solid, man. I love
all that red earth like shooting up behind you.
What games with the kart/pod racing genre still hold up today? Because we don't see a whole lot of that. We used to have Mario Kart, Diddy Kart. We had pod racers. We had like Crash Bandicoot Kart.
Well, you got like Wipeout and stuff, and they still put that out. I don't think you can make it a premium game. Like it wouldn't be a $60 game, but it might be an iPad, iOS, Android game. I could see that.
But it has Star Wars to it, so I feel like it almost has even more levity. Like if you put a Star Wars pod racing, I feel like that could sell more if they made it really good.
That pod racing game was the best thing to come out of.
It's really hard.
Right?
The Star Wars name is starting to get a little tarnished with the video games.
Yeah,
we haven't really had anything to stand out,
And of the Lego series, they're definitely the weakest ones.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But how about that new game though that EA is coming out with? That basically they said they trashed, but because it was a single player solo experience, now they're gonna make it into a games of service. Still looking forward to that.
It's looking like it's gonna be a Destiny-esque game, maybe.
Yes.
And people are kind of disappointed because we haven't had a good, solid, campaign-driven Star Wars game in a very long time.
Yeah.
Which I'm also a little disappointed about because that would be fun. Or even an open-world Star Wars game would be fun. But, I don't know, maybe we'll see. Maybe Star Wars Destiny 2 Edition will be better than Destiny 2.
I would like it. Again, I want competition for Bungie to get off their butts.
Yeah, but then again, they're making Anthem.
Yep.
So But I mean, I don't know. EA is not afraid to compete with themselves with like you had Battlefront or Battlefield 1, you got Battlefront 2, Titanfall 2.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're not afraid to compete in their own market, I guess.
No, you got to hedge your bets. You can't just count on one game coming out and being the savior for you, because there's so many people, so many studios that have closed, and even publishers that have closed because some massive game they put all their money behind came out and just flopped.
All right. This is true.
What's the last Star Wars game that you have played single player? I'm just curious now.
So a solely single player game. Let me think. So
like really? Like when's the last Star Wars single player game?
Maybe The Force Unleashed 2?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I didn't care much for that one. I think the first one was better.
The first one was definitely better. The second one was okay. It felt more like an expansion because it wasn't that long, like a little clinger on. But that might be the last solely single player thing I can remember.
I remember back when N64 there was like one with Dash Render. I forget what that's called, but that one was a really awesome single player experience, which wasn't canon, but still, if they even have like tie-offs like that, that would be good. As long as they have some good single player experience with just good gameplay. I don't know why. Yeah. Is EA the only one with the license? Is that why? What's happening?
Yes, Disney. Once Disney bought Lucasfilm, they did this thing where they wanted to give the rights to one publisher, and EA got it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
And since they've got that, which I believe that was like maybe 2012, we've seen 2 games come out.
Right.
Battlefront and Battlefront 2.
Well, they took a beating for that the Old Republic with BioWare. I forgot what they said the budget was. Like
that was
before, and it made nothing.
Yeah, that was before that whole Lucasfilm's getting bought out, which I personally like the Old Republic a lot. It's not like a game like WoW where you're gonna keep playing it, but it was a good game to play through.
It's a good single player experience. I liked it.
I think it works well as single player.
Yeah.
Yeah. So off on a tangent a little bit.
That's right. I think we do that from time to time.
A little bit. That's really all the gaming news I have to talk about. I see a couple notes that someone's read on here if y'all want to talk about it.
Sure. I'll get started with the kind of a preview. And, we don't know a lot of information about it yet, but, I'm the resident board game guy, and I get psyched whenever I see some new board game news show up. And today was a big one. There's a game out there called Scythe. And for those that are not familiar with it, you may be familiar with the art style, in which they would show a lot of like Eastern European fields back in like the early 1900s, and then they would show these huge mechs walking through it, and it would be this kind of like juxtaposition of, like farmers, and then like these huge mechs with like just smoke billowing out of it. It was a really cool kind of steampunk, but not necessarily of that time frame. So it was an artist that did this, and he put out a series of it, and it inspired Stonemaier Games to actually create a game, which they call Scythe, which is a 4X game, which is like the expand and the, you're collecting resources, and you can go out and battle, and it's been very well received, and it's probably one of the most popular games out right now. Well, today they announced an expansion called The Rise of Fenris, and it's going to convert the game to a legacy board game, which is a whole nother genre of games than they've been putting out. A legacy game is one that you begin playing, and then the decisions you make in that game carry on to the next one. So you're almost doing like mission, like episodic type of content, so that some things that you might do have a lasting effect into the very next game. There's been some big ones: Risk Legacy, Pandemic Legacy. These are all ones that have been well received and played, over and over again. And it really brings a huge ownership to the game. And we used to play with some friends. There was the 4 of us, and we couldn't wait for Friday nights because we knew we were going to go over, we're going to have some dinner and some wine, and play Pandemic Legacy.
The legacy thing is a new craze, like you said. Like
It's newish, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think other games are gonna pick that up?
Oh, they're already starting to do it.
Yeah.
That Scythe is doing it probably shouldn't be such a surprise, but the fact that they're doing it within the context of their current game is pretty cool. Like you're just buying an expansion, you're not buying a whole new board game set because these board games get expensive.
That's right. So what's the premise of like Scythe really? I mean, if I wanted to sit down and play and learn, how complicated is it, or how easy does it get into, or maybe along the lines is how like who would like this kind of board game?
Yeah, this is going to be your. I would think Brandon would like it with his love of Civ. It's very much similar to that. You are a
Oh, really?
leader of a country, more or less. It's you're in the kind of Poland, Russia steppes, very harsh environment, and you have workers that you place on the board. So there's some worker placement aspects to it, and you're collecting these resources, and then you're spending these resources to build these huge mechs. Well, some of the other expansions that have come out have let you build airships, and they've added these ones new faction called Invaders from Afar, which is bringing over some of the Asian and like Mongolian factions are now getting into the mix. So it's a very beautiful game in terms of the art style. The balance is extremely good, and and there's a ton of replayability to it. So I am beyond hyped for for a legacy aspect of it.
Awesome. Sounds cool.
Yeah. How long does a game like that last?
About 2 hours.
2 hours. It sounds like a really fun game. I might look into that.
Yeah, definitely. There's tons of let's plays. I would suggest checking out. I think it's Shut Up and Sit Down. They do a lot of let's plays, and there's also Watch It Played. So both of those hosts are entertaining, and will take you through it, and you get a good understanding of the game itself.
Nice.
Let's see.
What's this betrayal?
Andrew, you want to take us through that?
What is it called again? Betrayal at Boulder's Gate, right?
Yeah, Betrayal at Baldur's Gate.
That was fun. I played with Rob, and at first I was like, okay, it's just another betrayal game, so it maybe has the same rules. But actually, I enjoyed this one a lot more because if you know the premise of the betrayal games, you're set up into your individual characters. You're traversing through. In this case, it's going to be through the town of Boulder's Gate, and then the scenario really doesn't happen until a set of events happens. Once the set of events happens, you read out of a rule book, which is fairly dynamic. I would say, how many scenarios do you think it has in there, Rob?
So this one's a little bit of a lighter edition. So just to take it real quick, as far as the betrayal games, the premise is that it's kind of like a B horror movie where all four, however many people that are coming into the mansion, which is where you play the original betrayal, they come with the best of intentions to get geared up because they know something bad is about to happen, but you have no idea who it's going to be. And what ends up happening is some event occurs, like Andrew was saying, it's what's called the haunt. And when the haunt occurs, based upon what triggered it and where the people are, it will create a randomized event that then everyone has to work their way through. So, you might have a situation where you unleash a dragon. You might have a situation where one of the people gets bit and turns into a werewolf. So it could change and it can vary so much. And Baldur's Gate, I think, kind of pares it down a little bit. I think there's only about 50 or so, whereas the original game had over 100 scenarios.
I only played maybe in the first betrayal at, was it Haunted Hill or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Betrayal at House on Haunted Hill.
House on Haunted Hill. I may play only like 5 of those scenarios where there was hundreds, right? And I enjoyed all of them. There was one where a dragon was set loose. There was one where a zombie was traversing through the house and you had to run away from it. There was one that you had a mummy or something. These are all great scenarios. In the Baldur's Gate one, like you said, it was a little lighter, but it all pinned us against each other, which I thought was hilarious and fun. Which is that certain scenarios will do that for you. So you're rolling attacks against each other. Some of it is left up to chance. Others there's like strategy and like trying to trying to talk each other out of either stealing the item or killing each other. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and it's a little bit cheaper than the Betrayal at House games. So if you want to just kind of dip your toes into it, or you're a fan of the universe, it's a great game to pick up for that.
I recommend it, especially friends if you want to backstab them.
Oh yeah, it's the best part.
I had some gamer news, but I guess it was in the middle of our notes, so I didn't really put it in there. But Monster Hunter Worlds though is pretty important. I guess it's coming out this month.
It looks like I'm gonna be disappointed.
Yes, and I'm gonna be disappointed as well because a video came out. I think it was one of the game directors, and he said the scheduled release for PC is in autumn 2018.
Everybody say, "Oh."
Exactly, right. So from the release of Monster Hunter World console, which is this month on the 26th on Xbox One and PS4, it's going to be a while until PC comes out.
It's just not like Destiny where it's like 1 month apart.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
this may help their sales, or people buy it on console to check it out and see if they want to play it on PC later, instead of being like, oh, well, PC only comes out a month, I'll just hold out.
I mean, the only game that's really done that, I mean, maybe there's a couple games. Maybe Ark's done this. Maybe, especially
it's
PUBG.
usually the reverse. Normally it's PC, then console.
Yeah. So I really don't know how this is going to turn out. Because there is another, like, again, there's another game, Dauntless, that is coming out in 2018, coming out for all of them. And if you know, let's say PC players really want to get into a Monster Hunter World sort of thing, and Dauntless comes out first, it might hurt them in the long run.
Might cling to that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, if there's a winner in all this, it's Dauntless, because I really had written it off because of the popularity of Monster Hunter Worlds. But with them,
if they can get released before Monster Hunter, then
yeah,
we'll see how it goes. I was disappointed in that. I was hoping for 2 months later, but yeah, it's not even a definitive month. It could be like November.
It might be 2019. Could turn out to be like, what is it? Grand Theft Auto?
What's
I think that was like years before it came out on PC.
Yeah, that took like 2 years before it finally dropped.
But that turned out to be one of the best-selling PC games.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, it's Grand Theft Auto on PC.
Another potential winner in this would be Sea of Thieves. You could see, because if you're looking, you know, one of the fun things about Monster Hunter Worlds and Dauntless is the cooperative fire team aspect of it, you know, so being able to partner up with your buddies and go try to, you know, take down monsters. And Sea of Thieves has a lot of that similar, you know, teamwork. And I don't know if you watched the developer video on it, but it looks like so much fun.
Yeah, I hope Sea of Thieves is a lot of fun that keeps giving and isn't like okay, I've done this once, now I'm done kind of thing. Because it looks like a game I could really get into.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in the beta, and I'll have things to talk about there once it comes out. Yeah.
Do you have any keys?
I'm still waiting for my key. Once I have that, then
jelly
I can,
on that one.
Yeah. Do you have your key that you can give to me?
Yeah, sure.
That's
not something I'm looking forward to.
No. Yeah, it's one of the most games you were looking forward to. I don't want to take that away from you. Of course, I'm looking forward to hearing all the loot that I'm gonna get, because if I'm a pirate, I want some loot, man. That's what I want.
Well, this is true. I can tell you there is definitely loot in there, and it's from what I saw. Keep in mind, it was, you know, in the alpha. It was primarily. I didn't really see stats associated with it, so
I'm done.
It's really, yeah, really not sure exactly how it's going to all work out in terms of what the final gear will look like. But they have a ton of variety and a lot of different customizations you can do.
If it's like rarity in cosmetics, that'd be cool for me. Let's say like this one hat is more rare than the other.
Yeah, definitely.
I would still play with that.
Yeah, you earn gold by digging up and killing skeletons, and you go and acquire the gear with that. So,
okay,
I'm hoping for some maybe. I don't know, I could be just out of the loop on this, but some like boat and ship like progression and like customization.
Yeah, that would be slick. I don't know how much of that will be there.
Like
Um,
I'd be kind of disappointed if it's just like one and done ship for everybody.
no, there's multiple ships. I had like a sloop, like just a one person ship that I could kind of control everything. And for
Hmm.
multiple players, you can get a galleon with multiple cannon
So is it
racks
based
and
on how many people you have, or is it based on like how much you've played the game and that kind of thing?
you really get to pick. I was put into a single player ship because I was playing by myself, but then I saw some four player uh, s- streams and they were given the larger ship. The reason why I don't think you'd want that bigger ship as a single player is you have to physically like run across
Right.
the ship and go like tie down the sails and then run back to
It'd,
the
it'd
to
be
the
nice to have
steerable.
like like a whole fleet of ships, like for different occasions.
I'm sure you'd be able to do that. I could see like a bunch of groups like running around and maybe duoing on a ship or having a couple galleons that are all hanging
Like
out.
I kind of like when I start the game, I want to start out on a dinghy and I want to make like upgrade my fleet till I have
Well,
this huge warship. But
that'd be pretty awesome. We'll see what ends up
we'll,
coming of
we'll
it.
see. Maybe what's the other? What is Ubisoft's game coming out called? It might
Yeah,
have
what
that.
is that
Black
called?
Sails.
Black
Black
Sails?
Sails. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
another
that's
one, and it's
Maybe
obviously
that'll
not. It's obviously not art. It's not. How would you say the art style is for Sea of Thieves?
I think it's Sea of Thieves is more
it's rare. It's a rare game for sure.
it's a rare art style, I mean, like a comic book kind of feel to it.
Yeah,
Right.
like
Artsy.
whimsical kind of.
Yeah.
Whereas the Ubisoft one is very Black Flag ish,
Mhm.
More I wouldn't say realistic, but more realistic.
right? It seemed like honestly when I saw the Ubisoft one, it's called what's it called again? Black Sails
Black
Yeah,
Sails.
Black Sails.
or I thought it was a Crimson something. I thought, but either way, Black Sails. I thought it almost pinned it to be a player versus player, almost
Maybe.
like they're trying to push a
Maybe a For Honor.
like a
type
For
thing.
Honor, so yeah, like something
For Honor
like
with
that.
boats. If
Yeah.
that's the case, I probably won't be as interested.
That's what
Yeah,
it
I didn't
seemed
see
like.
where you could really run around and do as much of the like interactivity with the ship like you do on Sea of Thieves. So
That's exactly what
Yeah.
I was looking for, more of the outside of the ship thing.
Yeah,
Of course,
I'm
people
looking
like the
for,
ship
like,
battles, but
The open world pirate. I mean, the ship battle would be cool, but in the same aspect of open world, getting off my boat, that kind of thing.
that's
yeah,
why
they
I
have a
enjoyed
1 hour
it.
video. They have an hour long video with the like some interns playing it. And I think I mentioned on a previous podcast, but if you're curious about Sea of Thieves and you want to see what the game is like, they give a great rundown and they're jumping between like four different players and it gives you an idea of like how the gameplay actually is.
Nice, cool. Okay,
Hopefully.
I just came to mind, but
Yeah.
AGDQ is coming up next week.
Oh, is it?
Oh, I love that.
I absolutely love games done quick. Like
It's fun to
if
watch.
If you have no idea what games done quick is, okay, it's just speedrunners playing the games you love or you never even heard of, and completely destroying it.
Yep.
Just I would highly recommend you watching it. They're doing it for a good cause. They always do it for a good cause.
If there's games that you love and you're like, man, this game is really hard and I love that game because of this, they'll play it and they'll absolutely make you look like a fool.
Exactly. You ever want to see Donkey Kong beat in like 30 minutes? Yeah, go ahead. It sounds that's the way to go. And of course the dates January 7th through January 14th. It says 2018. I don't have the game. Okay, it says game event schedule here. I guess I should just name a couple. What do you guys think?
Yeah, just some big names.
Is there anything? I mean, anything that
Throw-
really jumps out as new? Because
throw some
typically
fillers.
they're doing, yeah, like
Oh,
Final
some new ones. Some new one. The ukulele. They're
Okay.
they're speedrunning ukulele.
I wanna put
It
in
says
on-
it says 35 minutes.
Wow,
I'd like to see that.
there's some hacks going on there.
For people that love Batman Arkham Asylum, an hour and 30 minutes.
Oh, that's cool. That's my game series, so I'll be tuning in for that. I actually set some alarms at times of the night I'm not proud to admit to wake up and watch some of these things.
Oh, of course, me too. I mean, I'll go back and even watch them if I missed them because they put them up on YouTube. Sonic Mania, because that came out recently. That's gonna be fun to watch. A couple more here. Fire Emblem 8, that's that new? But either way, like these are great games that I think anyone could enjoy watching them. And some just random things like Princess Rescue, you never really know, like why Animorphs Shattered Reality. No one's probably ever played that game, but they're going to play it and they're going to beat it and destroy it.
Yeah, they
Prey.
play some terrible games.
They have a speed run for Prey.
Oh, really?
Wait, I can't believe this. It says 15 minutes.
Wow.
Oh, wait a minute. I've seen this one.
Oh, okay. So someone's
I won't
done
spoil it, but
Okay.
it's usually when you see these speed runs, you're like, man, how are they getting through these things? They're like lightning fast, where they're just like bunny hopping through a level and just hitting to the other thing, or they're able to kind of skip through some things like the warp from Mario. So
Mm-hmm.
there's some cool hacks and tricks that they do. I remember watching last year they had Splatoon, which I was really surprised to see them already having a speed run on Splatoon, because it was really,
I didn't know Splatoon had a non-multiplayer side to it.
yeah, they got a campaign, and there was a guy that was just absolutely sick with I don't know if you guys have played it, but it's it's not what I would consider like a fast-paced game, and he was just flying through the levels with some pretty amazing accuracy.
Love this event. Love it. Watch it. It's on Twitch. Just watching on Twitch mainly because they put on a great production, and they're doing it for charity. Like I said, this year's charity is Prevent Cancer Foundation.
Okay. And of course, they give things away, I'm sure.
Yep. Cool. I wanted to throw that in there because I just remembered that, and I want to make sure I promote that because I love it. Love that event.
Yeah, good call.
This would not be a podcast without at least addressing Destiny 2.
Destiny 2. It's my time to shine. Okay. But here's what's going on. Nothing. At least nothing. It's a hotfix came out today. It's 2 lines. Not even
Andrew has anything to talk about.
I mean, I'm having fun in it. I have stuff to talk about with our clan because our clan is amazing and it's growing rapidly, and I think people are enjoying that aspect of the community-based game. But Destiny, the game itself, if you're jumping into it, you already kind of know what's happening. Number 1, Eververse is there. We already know that. Okay. Number 2, Curse of Osiris, not that great, but still there. You have the raid, you have the raid layer. Keep doing those to get more gear, that sort of thing. No new news that to say that Bungie is going to go one way or the other, which we're waiting for that next week. That's what
I thought they let slip the next expansion name.
Hmm? No, that was also fake news. Yeah, it's
you heard fake news.
Yeah,
I did.
I read the report, and I read other people saying like this is fake news, but I just didn't. It didn't blow up on Reddit, so I assumed that it trickled down as bad news.
Yeah.
But I would say, of course, if for new players, there's a bunch of new players that I've seen join, and they're enjoying the game. It's very good gunplay. It's attested to. We have 6K members. We have 6,000 members across all of our clans.
Holy.
6,000. 3,300 in Discord. Those are the people that I think are searching for that community and that social aspect of the game, which in my opinion is the best aspect of the game. We tightly organize groups to get people to their leaders, and their leaders get them to do the raids. They get loot, they have a good time, and they do it again and again and again. And that's what I like to do, and cultivating in this community. We have over 55 clans, and of course we're international. We have EU clans, we have NA clans, we have Xbox, PS4, PC, and I think I would say over 30 to 40 fire teams go out daily, just from using the LFG chats that we have inside the community. It's a huge pool of people always on searching for people to game with. And
we'll keep Destiny 2 alive single-handedly.
We will. We want to. And if anything, we just hope that Bungie doesn't make any bad mistakes, right? But we also want to cultivate other. We also want to cultivate other games in our community. I know Warframe's been pretty good, and Overwatch, as well as a little bit of PUBG. But we're always promoting the Bad Mama Jammas because they're a great guild, fantastic guild, great social guild. These guys are hilarious, fun to play with, and they have a great raid leader. I think he's in chat, right? Raid leader Blaze, yeah, he's there. He's right there, yeah. And I'm planning to do like a video clips. You send video clips to PixelPub, and then we comprise them together to do a community video. I'm still trying to figure out the ways to do that, and once we do, I think it'll be a great revival of the YouTube channel that we have. It hasn't been used much, and I want to put a little bit more focus on that too. And we also just released a gallery on the website. We started to add a bunch of pictures on there. You can see the pictures right now are like Wrath Incarnate, and they're like really scenic Destiny photos that were taken from people in our community. I thought those were really cool. If you want to check those out. And that's my Destiny news.
Yeah, and we'll even have even more stuff going on once the WoW expansion launches, and
absolutely
all kinds
That's
of
pretty
cool.
cool. So are we sure we don't want to mention at least a little bit of the fake news, because it was seen on the PlayStation Store.
I thought they said something along the lines of that it's translated something like it came from the Japanese point of view, and then it was translated incorrectly, and that it was like almost fake because this was translated to this, and I don't know the specific. If you want to get into it, I don't have the article up with me.
I was going to mention, because there's anytime new content is out there for Destiny 2, and the community is so hungry for it, I feel like you at least give a little bit of credence to what's being talked about, even if it ends up truly being fake news. It looks like there's going to be some expansion on Mars, which is, I think, pretty cool. And there's supposed to be a new minor race.
Supposedly, this is
like
all
a playable race.
I don't believe it's playable. I think it's just new. They just say a new race again. As I said, it's all it's all taken from a PlayStation store page that was screen capped, and then it was taken down almost immediately.
Okay. Interesting. We shall see.
Mm-hmm.
We shall see. Yeah, moving on to some movie stuff or TV shows. Like we talked about a little bit last week, Bright 2 is officially greenlit and announced and all that good jazz, so it is coming with Will Smith attached, I believe. So if you like Bright like I did, more is coming soon.
I'm happy for you.
I don't know. I mean, I liked it. I think it was fun. I don't think it's a great movie, but it was a fun movie.
There was parts. I think Edgerton was really good as the orc partner. So we'll see. They did announce that the writer for this one is not going to be back. It will be written by David Ayer, who also wrote Suicide Squad. So take that as you will.
Anyway, Cloverfield 3 is delayed again. It was set to the third movie was supposed to be released next month, and we haven't heard anything about it, and so it's delayed again to an unknown time currently.
Were you a fan of the originals?
I really like the 10 Cloverfield Lane a lot.
Yeah, okay.
It's a really good one. But yeah, they had like a whole universe planned out for that series a while back, and it's not coming into fruition yet. So I don't know if they've gave up on that or if they're just taking their time like Avatar. But
well, I think a lot of people are excited that it's JJ, back to kind of give a like a little bit more of a lost universe, and didn't really, he's been tied up with Star Wars, so
right,
good reasons for him not being there.
Right, this is all true. I don't know if anybody else saw it, but the Slender Man movie trailer came out. I watched it. There's not a whole lot of Slender Man.
That's the whole point, though.
Yeah, isn't that?
Is it?
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't that always the case? Like it's
Yeah.
most
I don't know.
flashlight.
I was expecting more I don't know, maybe something more. Maybe I'm just different. I don't know. But you see him once, I think. And to me, the movie looks more like a possession movie, and like like you getting haunted and possessed instead of like a monster movie, which I would think Slender Man is kind of more of in like the game setting anyway.
Is it weird that I have not played the games, but every single time you say Slender Man, I get chills because of what I watched on Marble Hornets? If you have not seen that,
I have not seen that.
have you seen Marble Hornets, Brendan?
I have not.
Okay, Marble Hornets is a free YouTube, I would say, series dedicated to Slender Man, but you have no idea what's going on. I would recommend. It's low quality, obviously, but it's well put together, mainly because it provides the fear of not knowing what's going on, and you kind of get bits and pieces of what's happening along the way.
So like a web series type thing.
It's a web series. I think it's well done for what they've done, for what the resources they had, and it's something just to look into. I think with Slenderman, with this coming out, I think this will be a good precursor to getting you hyped up for the fear of Slenderman, because I think these guys did it right.
Interesting. There's a lot of discussion too about like, especially in like the Marvel universe, like who owns the rights to what heroes and sort of thing. Who owns Slender Man? I mean, I thought it was kind of like an internet.
It may
phenomenon.
be like a universal, like not like the company, but like a open kind of thing. Maybe, I don't know.
But I mean,
'Cause I think
how do you
Slenderman
protect
was
that?
around before the game came out.
Oh yeah, yeah. Slenderman was. I remember frequenting the forums on somethingawful.com,
Yeah.
and
Gosh.
they were like photoshopping Slenderman in the back of
Yeah.
pictures of the woods and everything.
I think this is one of those like open kind of things for free to use kind of.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like Hollywood to
No,
take that kind of chance.
but I mean, I don't know. We'll see. The movie looks. I don't know if you guys remember this, and it's kind of a sad thing to hear, but the whole where somebody was, I think it was a couple of teenage girls killed one of their friends because they quote unquote said Slender Man told them to, and
Yeah,
that's what
that
this
was.
movie looks a lot like.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's not been that long ago. I think just a few years.
yeah,
Well, it's more of it's more of an interesting thing because Slender Man, in my eyes, is actually just like a beast. Like he's just an unknown entity, not really possessive. I don't know where that possessive thing came from.
I'm not sure either. I'm not a big fan of the idea of that.
But I would maybe still push the Marble Hornets, you know, storyline if you want to take it to that like lore of Slenderman, not the negative side of what that aspect is. Although possession, if that's where they're going, you know, whatever.
I was hoping for more of maybe something along the lines of like Stranger Things, kind of Slender Man.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
And I think that fits better because Slenderman doesn't really move a whole lot. He's just there and
right,
scares you.
right.
Oh, it's so creepy. Just every single time you guys say that name, man, I'm telling you.
Slenderman.
I watched it in the dark. Just I wanted to get the full feel of it, and I couldn't go to sleep. Couldn't do it.
How weird would it be if Slenderman was outside your window right now?
Oh no.
You know, I would. You know, it to me like I'm almost like I've seen the videos so much that I'll be like, hey, what's up? You know, like that sort of thing. But for you guys, I think it might be something else. And of course, I still promote it. I watch it.
Cool. And it looks like someone had a thing to talk about the Runaway series on Hulu.
Yeah, I'll take that. So, are you guys familiar with?
I know
with
it's
the
a part
Runaways?
of the Marvel world. I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, yeah. So you are right. It's kind of loosely based in the Marvel world. Actually, I read
They
the
all like
comics.
the Netflix series, probably.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
They're in the world, but they don't like make major connections or anything like that.
Yeah, usually they'll have someone like guest star, kind of thing. So I remember they had like Cloak and Dagger come through, and I mean that's kind of almost like a bit of an obscure, a couple of characters in Marvel. So
Mm-hmm.
it was really really such a weird thing to see this get the TV treatment. So it's basically a teen superhero group, and they focus on making the teenagers as realistic as possible, and the kind of the heroes and the story and everything else kind of comes second. So it's a major twist on that way, in which usually it's the action or it's a bit of the more of the storyline of they're like fighting crime, whereas this is more. I don't want to get too far into it, but it's written by Brian K. Vaughan, who has written a number of just absolutely amazing comics. Why the Last Man, currently writing Saga, just really highbrow comics. So I think it's going to be really interesting to see how this is taken. The reviews on it so far are exceptional. It is universally loved right now, this Runaway series. So I would, and I've only seen the first couple episodes, but I'm going to be binging it here, I think, over the weekend,
Hmm.
because it is so good.
How would you rate it?
I really hate to give it like a full rating. It's more of like a preview, and
Mhm.
because I haven't seen it all the way through.
Okay. Okay.
But I would say if you are interested in other aspects of the Marvel universe, this is up there with the Daredevil, Punisher series in terms of the quality and like the engagement that I have.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't as big a fan of like Luke Cage or especially the Iron Fist, and that Inhumans was unwatchable. This is one that I think that people can kind of relate to, because you're either a teenager now or maybe you've been one before, and you can kind of empathize with what they're going through and seeing not only are they dealing with things like puberty, but also with murderous villains and stuff.
Have to check it out. But yeah, I guess that's really. I don't know unless somebody has anything to talk about. I think that's it. We might move on to 20 questions.
All
if
right.
we have 20 questions for the week. We're closing in on an hour here, but
I'm ready for your questions.
okay.
I have a good game.
A good game. Okay. You just ready?
Spoilers.
Ready? We'll just start firing them off, I guess.
Yeah, let's so what do you think? We kind of narrow it down from a year. That always
might as well start with time. Never hurts.
There you go. So what year do we go with? I feel like we usually do 2000, but that's it's not really the midway point anymore.
But was it released after 2005?
There you go.
No.
So we're talking pre 2005.
Okay.
So let's split it again then. So was it released after 1995?
After 1995?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was released after 1995.
All right, so we got a 10-year window there.
Okay. Let's see.
From 95, that would put us in Super NES. That would put
There's
us
a lot
in,
of consoles in.
he's probably thinking of the 32X, probably Colibri, the hummingbird shooter from 32X.
Maybe.
How'd you get it right away? I don't know how you got it right away. No.
Should we go ahead and split it again? Just
sure.
Yeah. Was it released after 2000?
Yes.
Okay, so 2000, 2005. Okay.
All right. So let's maybe try and narrow down by console, or maybe PC. It's hard to say. Maybe we should ask if it's exclusive.
Yeah.
All right. Is it exclusive to a console or PC?
Yes, it's exclusive.
Okay.
It's probably going to be console.
Yeah.
I see you, chat. Come on, let's do some questions, chat.
It's probably Nintendo.
Well, let's find out.
Yeah. Was it published by Nintendo?
No, it was not published by Nintendo.
Okay.
All right. I remember Andrew also liking PlayStation. So was it on the Sony platform?
Are you asking if it was on a Sony platform, or a specific platform?
I'm gonna go with Sony overall. Is it a Sony game, like on the PlayStation or PlayStation 2?
It is a Sony game. It was released on a Sony platform. Yes.
Okay. All right. So that helps us narrow down to the most popular gaming console of all time, with about
A million games.
Not bad. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
let's try maybe the genre.
There you go. Let's see.
Was it an FPS?
It's not an FPS.
Is it a platformer?
I would say it is a platformer. I'm gonna say it's a platformer.
You would say.
So, I mean, the genre, in my opinion, is there, but
it's very broad.
It's very broad.
Yeah, I mean, this gives us some variety here.
I like to say, how about this? You can say it's a platformer, right? There is jumping and platforming involved. I won't say that it is the exact genre of the game. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll give you that.
You think it's maybe like a series of games? Like we can figure out if we're working with a franchise or if we're just dealing with a standalone game?
Yeah, we can ask that.
All right. So is it a standalone game?
It is not a standalone game.
Okay, so it's part of a series,
or at least has a sequel.
Yeah. Man,
maybe we should narrow down like the setting or art style.
Is it based on Greek mythology?
That's a good question. That's an interesting. You went from like one thing to another. Give me a second here. Is it based on Greek mythology?
Yeah, I took a pretty sharp jab at the God of War series there.
Oh, okay.
But
I see.
There's a lot of, but there are a lot of kind of Greek mythology platformer.
I'm gonna say it's not, because I don't see anything specifically for me that stands out as Greek mythology.
Okay. So we're probably talking like swinging swords, that kind of thing. So what do you think, Brandon? What else?
Chat wants to know if there are plans for another installment of the series to come out.
That's a good question, but no plans.
Okay.
I do like that question for like future. I might actually use that for a future one.
Well, that's a good one.
Good job, chat.
Thank you, chat. Unaffiliated chat person that came in and asked a great question.
Is this an arts? Is it I don't know how, is it like a cartoony aesthetic to it?
Yeah, it's cartoony aesthetic. Yeah.
Okay. I already have like a game in mind. I can't remember what it's called.
So cartoony, would have some platforming, not based on Greek mythology. Let's ask about maybe the main characters. Is the main character a human?
Yes, he's a human.
Okay. He's a human. We got some
I said that,
didn't
I said it.
Boom. You're terrible at this.
Well, let's see if you get it.
This may throw what I was thinking out, if this person's supposed to be a human.
All right. Human male. That jumps around on platforms, but it's not the main aspect of it. Came up before 2005. Cartoony.
Let's think.
So let's try to further dissect this here. So we've got.
Should we just figure out if it's PS1 or PS2?
Yeah, that'll be good.
Is it on PS2?
Yes.
Okay.
So that takes us from 2001 to 2005.
So we narrowed down 1 year.
Well, I believe you said after 2000. I don't think you said after 2005.
Yeah, that was the first one we said.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure.
Yep.
Yeah, we know it's between 2001 to 2005.
Gotcha.
On the PS2. Yeah. That's an exclusive. That's part of a series that has a cartoon art style that features a male main character.
Human main character.
No, human main character that is a platformer.
At the moment, I'm at 13 questions, I believe. So.
Okay. So with the,
I don't think of games where I played a human platformer.
Sure. Well, let's talk a little bit more about maybe what this person's like. So, maybe we should check and see. Okay, is it based on like a cartoon property or something like that, maybe we could look at is it based on a movie series? So I guess the question might be, um,
Is it a franchise outside of video games?
No, it's not a franchise outside of video games.
okay, so it's exclusive to that. So let's see. Man, they got so many good ones on there. It's just running through my head, like Ape Escape and Ratchet and Clank are out there.
Is Ratchet and Clank a human though?
No, he's not. But
Was Jack and Dexter even a human?
He's got elf ears, but he's
Yeah.
close.
That's a good one.
Are we saying humans or like humanoid?
Blaze has a good question.
Do they still make these games?
Well, does the developer still exist?
Yeah,
Yes.
Oh, that's also a good one.
The developer still exists.
Okay.
15.
So let's think about some of these developers, long term. You got like Naughty Dog.
All right, which would be Jack and Dexter.
Okay. I was in on a lot of these things, but if it's not primarily a platformer, then it's something else. So, I mean, it'd be maybe like some kind of combat or maybe like a shooter. So
I feel like it's going to be a shooter.
You said FPS already, though.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't have to be a FPS be a shooter. So, I mean, if you're saying that, then you're trying to maybe detour us away from the shooter aspect.
To count with Blaze's, like, does developer still exist, and do they still make games? Yeah, they still make the games. But I'm not gonna count that as a question. I just wanted to answer that too.
Okay, I got you.
Well, let's see what other, because I don't want to just focus in on just the game series. I think I need to kind of get a view of what type of game we're actually discussing. Because
Right.
the platformer part is
Maybe we need to figure
kinda
out
hung
if it's
up on that.
like, is it like futuristic? Is it modern? Is it in the past?
Well, I asked if it was based on Greek mythology, and he had to
Maybe
think
not.
about it. So let's start.
He did
thinking
have
in the
He
past.
did have to think about it. That's true.
Yeah. So, it is cartoony. So would the game setting be in the past, as in
Historical.
historical? Yeah.
Historically, yes.
Okay. All right.
Past,
So
as
who
in
would-
past, be even before this present time.
Yeah, like not like I would like. Yeah.
like I would consider historical to be like Roman times.
No, maybe not. No guns, like modern weapons or or cars or like skyscrapers, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh man, Andrew always picks the tough ones too. We can't ever come up with just the the obvious ones because
love
it's
this
not going to
game.
be that.
I love this game.
I still have another game, but I'm not sure if what developer it is and if it's still made, if they still develop games.
Well, they're still. Let's see. So they're still making games. Let's ask if it was like kind of how it was received. Like if it was like a critical acclaim or not. Or maybe if we consider like, is it one of the classics? As in, like, is it considered like one of the top games on the platform?
Yeah, we can ask.
Okay. So, Andrew, would this be considered one of the top games on the platform?
It got I don't know that specific answer. I would say the Metacritic score was 84. It got very good reviews across the board.
Okay.
And I guess maybe some little more information. IGN ranked it number 6 on the list of top 10 games. Or sorry, I should probably just read this anyway since I'm reading it. top 10 most challenging PS2 games of all time.
Oh wow.
So if anybody's out there looking at a list of stuff, look for the number 6.
So I gave you a little bit more information because I actually thought I didn't read the rest of it. I thought it was top 10 games, but I was like, oh, challenging games. Okay, well, I just have to
So
read
it
it
is
anyway.
a challenging game, huh? A platformer. I don't know if it. I mean, it's not a FPS, so it has to be like a third person or over the shoulder kind of view.
Yeah, and kind of a historical type of aspect. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe like not necessarily caveman times, but
Right.
maybe I'm trying. But see, it's that cartoony style that it is that's really throwing me. I'm kind of lost on that.
There's a lot of games for the PS2 era. I mean, we all probably played different games and what we enjoyed in PS2 era, but I really like this one.
Yeah, this should be more like 120 questions with all the games they have on PlayStation 2.
I gave you a huge hint that I was
You
challenging.
did, yeah. But in terms of, but there's a lot of challenging games on PlayStation. So let's
Well, I can.
let's see.
You asked the genre before, so I'll give you that it's an action adventure, but like
Okay.
there is platforming involved. If that makes any sense.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So we're talking. This might be something similar, but on the PlayStation. Um, but man, I struggle
PlayStation
with
C
that.
knows it. Maybe you can get some
Yeah.
information out of
Just
it.
kind of describe it, Jared. I might be able to think
The
of what you're
chat,
thinking of.
unnamed chat.
That's not.
Unnamed chat member.
That didn't
Describe.
just Google search the IGN top 6, right? Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
I can give you another hint. That'll speed it up. You're at basically 16 questions. You can ask more questions.
Yeah, let's try to get a little bit closer there on what the
Just describe what you're thinking, Jared.
Oh, he didn't see that was on the IGN list. He wants to go search it. No. Yeah, it was number 6 of the top 10 games, most challenging games.
Do you have a companion character that like follows you around while you play? Like,
No, not that I remember.
no.
No.
Okay, so you're like rolling solo dolo. Okay.
does your character use a sword?
Yes, he uses a sword.
Oh man, there's this one, and I forgot the name of it.
Oh, he's got it. I think
But
he's
it's
got it.
oh, it is like Roman guy.
Hey,
I remember jumping on lava. It's the only cartoony one I can think of. It's I want to say was it like it was the Ghouls and Ghosts guy. Like
To
that
answer
main
your
character.
question, it is a ghouls and ghosts based game. Yes.
Okay, okay.
So
I
it just get the name and you got this.
there's no way.
You just
Oh
get the
man.
name. That's all he needs.
Oh man, I
I
don't
used
know.
to watch it on G4. They used to play the game on the reviews.
X-Play.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
ghosts
man.
and goblins. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, Ghosts and Goblins.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, they had a couple different ones because it was on all the different ones. So let's see. So that was put out by Capcom.
I honestly don't know.
Is it a Capcom game?
Yes, it's a Capcom game.
Oh my god, I know this game, but I don't know the name of it.
I love it. I love it.
I honestly have no idea. Oh man.
It's man, I'm gonna be at a loss here. Just I mean, I can see it. It's you're basically play as like a cartoon, and you're a knight, like a Roman knight kind of thing, and you run around and like these skeletons knock your armor off, and you get naked.
Yep. There's all of it.
You-
All of
you
it's
clearly
true.
know what
you
this
clearly
is.
know what hey. Maybe one more hint because you only have one more question, really. I think.
Okay.
So, my son would love this game. I'll just my hint right there.
Ooh, do you want that knowledge out there?
Oh, I guess no. But I guess whatever.
Um,
They
was
didn't give you a hint.
is it Maximus?
So close. So very, very close.
Oh, man.
I'll give it to you. Now you can describe every part of the game. It's called Maximo.
Oh my god.
It's called Maximo Goes to Glory is the name of the game.
Let's
It's
look this up. I've never played this. I don't think I've ever seen this.
I have never played it, but it was on G like constantly.
So the 3D world, there's a lot of platforming involved. Just as Rob described, you face a lot of challenging bosses, a lot of enemies, a lot of. It's almost like you have to do some Dark Souls-ish kind of stuff.
I was about to say, it looks like the original Dark Souls like kind of deal.
Yeah, it was rough. And here's the real kicker to this game. Every single time you die, you pay a coin to the Grim Reaper, and he'll revive you with some more lives. But every single time you give a coin to him, the price goes up. So you could inevitably game over this game and have to restart it.
Oh wow. That was how Ghouls and Goblins was. That was a challenging game. Yeah. The funny thing is I knew what you were referring to, but man, I couldn't. So you played this game. Tell us about it.
Yeah, like I said,
there's more than one of these games?
There is. I never played the second one, which was Army of Zin. I may have just got, I don't know, maybe sidetracked that there was one existed, but Maximo Ghost of Glory was my game that I played, and I think I don't know how many hours I put into it. I think it was almost like a 10 to 20 hour game, but it was that challenging, and I don't know how to describe it other than hack and slash platforming, lots of platforming, and almost Dark Souls, where you had to like really gauge the enemy, because if you didn't, you get your armor power up, right? And you have armor on. But if they can knock the armor off, and then you're actually naked in your boxers, and all you have is your sword, right?
Which would happen in the original Ghosts and Goblins.
Right. And then if obviously they hit you, you're dead, and then you have to go, if you lose all your lives, you pay your Grim Reaper, and then that goes up in price, and you get stressed out because you don't want to die anymore. That's sort of like reoccurring theme. There's some cool special moves and combos, like you could get power-ups and slam the ground so you can just take out a bunch of enemies. It was a really great game for PS2. But PS2, like again I said, has tons of games, so this one might have been missed by a lot of people.
Yeah, I missed it. I had a PlayStation 2 and I saw it and chose not to play it because of the buzz around it. Was that it was play.
Yeah, I don't know how to describe more than just if you wanted to go back and play it, it'd probably look really bad, but still a fantastic game.
Oh man, that's chat just brought up they thought they were thinking Beautiful Joe, which I was if it wasn't talking about like the historical type of aspect, but Beautiful Joe is actually the game I had on backup in case no one else had 20 questions tonight. So
well, you could have probably saved that for another time. But
no, he said Beautiful Joe, so Blazers he's already keen to it.
Cool. I'm glad. Honestly, I'm gonna give that to you.
Nah. Good job. You're the only one that like stumps people other than global conflict or whatever.
He doesn't even remember it. Desert Storm. Conflict. Desert Storm. Yeah. Cool.
No, but very good. Very good.
Very, very like. Well, that's about gonna be it for us. So I guess we're gonna start doing the promotions and sign off of this thing. So Andrew, take it away.
Cool. You have to go to www.pixelpubgaming.com because it has all the information you need regarding our podcast and the latest podcasts you can actually listen to on the front page. Just scroll down to the podcast, hit that little button there, and it'll play for you on any mobile browser. You can also see information regarding us and our gamer tags and where you can find us on the crew page. Rob, I have to put you up there. What do you think?
Sure.
Sounds good. We'll get Rob up there in his gamer tag so you can contact him. And then if you want to join the Wrath Incarnate or the Bad Mama Jammas for the WoW Guild, also on the front page, and we have blog posts for that. And then last thing would be to make sure to what's our email again for the We Talk Nerd podcast, because we want to take feedback and see how we're doing.
Podcast at yahoo.com.
WTN podcast at yahoo.com. I got to put that on the website to make sure that if you guys have any feedback, let us know. We want the best experience, podcast experience, just interaction experience with you guys and gals.
and other.
And other.
All right, Rob.
Sure. Yeah, you can catch me as Rob, part-time podcast host on the We Talk Nerd podcast. I guess Andrew will be adding me onto the website, so you'll be able to see some of my gaming details there. So
In his face.
there you go.
If he wants to post his face, it's up to him.
And I'm Abop, AEBOP. Yeah, just check out the website. Make sure to subscribe, follow, like, share, tweet, hashtag, do all those good things for the show. Tell your friends, tell your mom, tell everybody about the show. If you like it, that is. If you don't like it, then don't tell nobody, because I don't want negative connotation with the show. But yeah, I guess that'll be it for us. Next week we'll probably have Jared back, and might we have a little bit of, maybe we'll start some stuff coming different here soon.
Okay.
But
Sounds
we'll
fun.
see. But until next time, we'll see you guys later.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
All right.
Cool.